Yes, and we're live. Oh, this feels weird. I haven't been doing this. I haven't done a cigar stream in 2 weeks. Awesome. So psyched about tonight. I love the cigar conversations on Fridays. Can't wait for everybody to get in here. And Texas GT is here. You got a cigar, brother? Dude, I haven't done one of these, and I missed 2 weeks in a row for my cigar stream, and we're back. You forgot your cigar. Oh, I've been looking forward to doing this. Hey, Care Bear. Hey, Safety Man. How's it going? David Swint. How's it going? Oh, I love the conversations. Absolutely love the conversations here, especially the Friday night ones. They're just so cool. Flo just wrenched you today. I guess that's good. If you're talking about Flo Rida, he's a cool guy. Yeah, Flo Rida's cool. I've known him for quite a while. Yes, Shabbat Shalom, Stephen. Oh, God, moving. Yeah, the only thing fun about moving is when you're all done. That's it. I can't think of anything else. I hope I have enough battery to do a full stream. I didn't get it fully charged. We'll see. I got it on about 60%. So we'll go until the battery dies. I'm sure we'll get at least an hour out of it, at least. I like to go to midnight, though. On Fridays, we usually do 10 to midnight because that's usually how long the cigar lasts. Cigar gets done about an hour and 45 minutes. It's this kind, anyway. And then we'll see. We go a few minutes after that normally. So, what's everybody up to this Friday night? I got another busy week ahead of me. Oh, yeah, Texas GT. When you move into a bigger house, and it's like, I remember moving into this place from an apartment I was in. You know, I had my wife and one child, and we moved into this house, and it was huge. We didn't know what to do with all the space. Then, of course, almost 2 years ago, we have another child, and now I'm like thinking I need a storage shed in the back, and you just accumulate stuff. Yeah, I totally understand that. Then, of course, I mean, the kids' toys. Oh my God. I never had so many toys when I was a kid. Never. Yeah, you too, Safety Man. Dude, you need to, guys, go and grab a cigar during the week and just put it aside. Doesn't have to be anything crazy. And just save it for Friday night. 10 o'clock. I know I've been really busy the last 2 Fridays and haven't been able to do a stream, and I hate missing my Friday stream. This is the one I enjoy the most. And I hate missing it, but yeah, we'll just keep on doing it on Fridays. The only time we won't do the stream on Fridays is when hunting season starts for deer. That's not till November. The first couple of weeks in November, first 3 weeks, I leave on Friday nights and I go to the hunting grounds. And I'll come back, depending on when I get a deer, Saturday night or Sunday morning. Truth be told, last 2 years, Saturday morning, deer. Second week, Saturday morning, deer. So, been a good couple of years. Last year, I didn't do one day where I did two hunts. It was always the morning hunt, get a deer, come home. If I had stayed, if I had stayed 2 days, probably would have gotten two deer in the weekend. But man, it wasn't like that when I first started on this land. Everything was sporadic, and really had to cultivate the land and put down grazing plots and different types of wheats and oats, radishes, things like that, that deer absolutely love to feed on. And so they start coming into the place, feeding and grazing, and they end up growing on the land. It's the only way you're going to get deer on land. How are you going to get deer on there if there's nothing for them to eat? And we have a lot of white oak, which, we have a lot of white oak, which puts out those acorns, which the deer love. Peasants, huh, Roy? Roy, Sergeant said Owen was talking about me today on his stream. I don't know. Sergeant seems to think it was a shout out. I can't understand how. Because I stopped into his stream for about 5 minutes today. Kind of laughed. And left. And. uh. See, I don't bow hunt. I haven't bow hunted in a long time. I just stopped doing it. I don't know. I like shooting a bow. I've been shooting a bow since I was a little kid. 0-0. Yeah, I would definitely call myself a libertarian. Um, I voted. I voted in the past. I voted libertarian. I voted, or third party, independent party. I voted independent. I voted Democrat. I voted Republican. I voted for who I thought was the best. And yeah, I would call myself a libertarian. If I can find a candidate who loves the Constitution, then he normally gets my vote. Yeah, I don't think voting does a whole lot. I mean, God, they're so fixed these days. I mean, look what they did to. I mean, as much as I'm glad Bernie didn't become president, look what Hillary Clinton did to Bernie. You know, she kind of screwed him. They cheated him out of a lot of electoral votes. Well, libertarian is really it's. I would call it a constitutional libertarian follows the Constitution, but I mean the Declaration of Independence and the Constitution is basically a libertarian type of paper, I guess you could say that. Well, I mean, what's your definition of libertarian? I guess that's the best question because libertarian is someone that complete freedom, absolute complete freedom. But then again, the actual classic definition of liberal is someone who loves freedom, but it's been perverted so badly I wouldn't even use the phrase anymore. Oh God, you're smoking a Garcia Vega. At least you're smoking a cigar, Pastor Jack. I'll give you that. Yeah, yeah, and that's basically what the Constitution is. Well, that's Stephen. That's why I loved it when that Marine testified uh, in the part, not the, it was up in Sandy Hook. He testified and he said his rights. He goes, my rights trump your dead, which is true. Oh, Pastor Jack, tell me who called your phone the other day. Let me guess. One of two ladies. Am I? And you know the two ladies I'm talking about. Is it one of those two? 00. You have to understand. Yeah, in this situation, it seemed pretty harsh, but that's the truth. I feel terrible when someone dies because of a mass shooting, especially children. But I'm not going to give up my rights based on someone's emotion. And that's what people have a hard time hearing, because they want you to feel this and they want you to virtue signal your rights away because of an emotion. I mean, emotion has no place in legislation, not even close. Um, it was funny. I watched that kind of wrestling back in the 70s when Chief Jay Strongbow, Ivan Putski, George the Animal Steel, those guys were involved in it. Actually, there was. Gatling guns were already on the drawing table. There were types of automatic weapons. They were just very rare. But yeah, there were. And no, I don't believe my Constitution has limitations. Back then, the Constitution was written that everybody had the right to have exactly what the government had, the armies had. You were allowed to own your own cannon. We know that for a fact. You were allowed to own the same exact rifles that the military had. The musket was a military rifle. So, in order to keep a free state, we need to have these same type of weapons that the Army has and that our government has. So, yes. And you can have automatic weapons. You just need to have a Class 3 license to get them. It's extremely hard. Trust me, it's hard. Oh, I've heard that argument before, 00. It's a pathetic argument, dude, really. That's a pathetic argument. Because no one's going to drop nukes anymore because they know the damage that they do. No one's dropping nukes on anybody. True, Stephen. If you need a license, yeah, it is. You know, up until, what was it, 1937, 38? You could have automatic weapons. Well, in 1986, that was the licensing issue. That's where they allowed you. Well, you know something? Guess what? Whether you like it or not, people that aren't of a government have nuclear weapons. Whether you like it or not. So if bad guys have nuclear weapons, why not? Bad guys have automatic rifles. Why not? I want everything that can be shot at me. So, yeah, but I see. I hear that argument all the time, and that's what they say. They use the argument of the nukes so they can tell you, oh, we need restrictions on it. Yeah, the restrictions don't come all the way down to now. See, because there is that slippery slope. They talk about, hey, no, it's not a sound argument. It's actually a ridiculous argument. Absolutely ridiculous. Okay, because any battles now are fought with small arms. No one's dropping nukes. But we have terrorists that have their hands on nukes, and we know this. But okay, it's the same argument they do with abortion. They use the same argument, and I'll say this: they take something the extreme, and they say, okay, what about in the case of rape? A woman should be able to abort her baby. And once we say, okay, if that's the only thing that we give you is you can abort your baby if you're raped, then they say, no, it's my body, my choice. So that's the argument. but it's not what they want. Okay? That's not what they want. They use the argument, just like the people say, "Oh, you should be able to have nukes." They use the argument because they want to get a bite into our Second Amendment. I should be able to have everything that the infantry has. I should be able to own that. Absolutely. That's why I live in Texas. Look, what part of shall not be infringed can't you figure out? What about I need to have the proper weaponry to defend my family, to defend us? Okay? I need to be able to not only defend my life, my family, but I also need to have my militia firearm to keep a free state. That is my God given right. God given right. Inalienable. The Constitution doesn't give me that right. I had it before. Yeah, you know what? Do you even know what militia is, 00? Do you even know what militia is? Do you even have a clue? Militia is us. That's what militia was. It's us. It's not the National Guard. It's not the Army. Militia is us. That's why in the second line on that, it says to keep a well-regulated militia, okay, the right of the people to bear arms shall not be infringed. That's why they used people. It was the synonym. They didn't want to use the same word over and over again. The right of the people, that's the second line in that, to bear arms. That's the one that shall not be infringed. I've heard that argument over and over again, dude. I've heard it over and over again. You're reading the Constitution wrong. Well, look, you're always going to have idiots. Look at Antifa. Antifa's a bunch of idiots. Okay? You're always going to have idiots. Okay? Just because someone opposes the Democrats, they get labeled white supremacists all the time. That doesn't mean they are. Just because someone calls themselves militia, like Timothy McVeigh, what a complete loser he was, killing children. Come on. Guy was a loser. There are much better ways to fight for our rights than to do what idiots like that did. That's just ridiculous. Much better ways. Guess what? Other than a direct and imminent threat, you can't scream fire in a crowded theater. Your rights end when you impede on someone else's rights. My right, like say right here, right now, I can say pretty much whatever I want as long as I don't threaten somebody. No direct and imminent threat. Okay? But at the same time, I don't have to listen to someone in here. I have the right to walk away. Well, no, because that impedes on someone else's rights. Your rights do end when they impede on someone else's. But my owning a firearm doesn't impede on anyone else's rights. Me trying to hurt someone with a firearm, that does. That's illegal. That's true, Stephen. Yeah, you can scream it, but you can't do it if there's no fire. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Pastor Jack, you said something about the WWF. I don't know what you're talking about, man. The last thing I saw was you asking me if I watched it. Another thing, zero zero. Do you even know what well regulated means? It doesn't mean loopholes and laws and everything else. Well regulated means regulated. You have to think about the language of the times. Okay? Well regulated meant well trained. Well trained. Well, you have to understand, okay? An armed society is feared by the government. When the government fears its people, there's liberty. When the people fear the government, there's tyranny. Well, I mean, it's he has a maybe he's been influenced by CNN. I don't know, Roy. He could be influenced by CNN for all I know. He sounds like CNN. I just don't like people that are so quick to jump to violence. Violence isn't the answer, at least not right now. If our government goes tyrannical, we're gonna have to defend ourselves. If the government went after us, they couldn't go after us with small arms the way we are. We'd be able to defend ourselves. Or I believe, Stephen, that our government has very certain aspects of it are very tyrannical. Yeah, absolutely. Well, I don't know about that, Stephen. Not sure. I know they're coming after our rights, and once they get our rights, then they're going to probably come after other things. Oh, I would guess probably a tenth of our government or a tenth of our military would probably back the government. A tenth. Yeah, the red flag laws are bad because there's nothing. Look, I believe if someone is a psychotic person that they shouldn't have firearms. Absolutely, but the problem is who gets to decide who's psychotic? A phone call? No, I don't believe that. I believe that's ridiculous. No, the government's not going to nuke us. Oh my God. Yeah, that's true, Stephen. Due process. Yeah, that's why I think Trump was an idiot when he said expedited due process. That's a contradiction of terms. Due process is supposed to be long and drawn out and tedious. How can you expedite that? That's a contradiction. Yeah, this is why I tend to think that I mean, if any state was literally to secede, it would cause just chaos. Of course, I wouldn't mind if California seceded. Just let it go. Bye bye. Take care of yourself. You don't get any more of our money. See how long they last without our money. Because we're basically paying their tab. Hey, Ed. Steve, I totally agree. Yeah, a second civil war would be short. Yeah. But just because we're not sure if we could win it doesn't mean we shouldn't be armed to protect ourselves in case, you know? So I believe that because there are criminal elements out there that don't follow the laws, that I should be able to protect myself and have a weapon to do so. I mean, every time that there's a shooting, the anti gunners want to disarm the people getting shot at. I mean, that's the gist of it. The anti gunners, like the Democrats, they want to disarm the people being shot at. That's what it's absolutely ridiculous. And I'm just not buying it. But at the same time, this is why I believe in working with the police and trying to figure out and help them resolve the issues that are within because there's some bad cops and there's some good cops. And the more we work with them, the more we can identify the bad ones. Because there's one thing that cops, and I know this because I've seen it happen, good cops hate bad cops because it makes them look bad.
Hey, Daddy.
Hey, buddy.
Also,
Gavin, what you got to say? Say it quick, buddy.
I love you.
I love you too, buddy.
Also,
My son's gonna say something. What?
Also, when my iPad turned on, I didn't turn it on. It turned on automatically. It told me that you're doing a live stream.
Yeah, I know because it's linked. My son. I think he's inside watching the live stream. That's funny. That's funny. Okay, let me see what I missed here. Well, yeah, that's why the Constitution was written. I mean, think about it. Remember what Benjamin Franklin said, leaving the hall after it was written. A woman said, "What did we get? What did we get?" And the answer Benjamin Franklin gave to her was, "We got a constitutional republic. Let's see how long we can keep it." So, look, we've been talking about the anarchists and how they believe in no government, and we've been talking about this for 2 days now on the stream. We did a stream about it yesterday, the follow up the Wednesday, and what I can't grasp are the anarchists that seem to think that we'll be fine without a government. We need some sort of order, and we're not going to get that just in individualism. It's just not going to happen. Yeah, that's the truth, Stephen. Yeah, you know, our government isn't supposed to be able to vote themselves raises while they're in the government, and yet they do. You believe in chaos, but you don't encourage it. Oh, FDR was terrible, terrible. He was pretty much he was a socialist. I mean, look, guys, McCarthy knew what was going on in our country. He saw it back in the 50s. He saw it. He saw what was going on, and he tried to stop it. But people love their Hollywood stars. They listen to them, make sure. Oh, they Hollywood stars told me this, and that. And they know better than the Hollywood stars. Is so far removed from reality. They don't have a clue as to what's going on. Yeah, hope. Oh my God, living in California, I feel for you, man. Yeah, yeah, Mr. Rasser Harass. Yeah, he was. Yeah, he was right. Yeah, yeah. Americans worship celebrities. It's ridiculous. They act as if these celebrities know what the average citizen has to go through. I mean, they live in big houses behind walls with guards. A lot of them may not like guns, but their guards sure as hell have them. And they love perpetrating violence in all the movies. Well, YouTube is turned into a complete shit show. That's all YouTube is now. You have channels hating other channels constantly. I mean, I've watched a couple of channels recently, and all they did. Sorry, guys. Excuse me. All they did was trash one another. It's like, oh, that show sucks. That show sucks. Oh, this person. There's shows now that all the show does is just trash other shows. Sure, it may be funny, but all they do is trash other shows. Thank you, Hope. Oh my God, Stephen, I say that all the time. Our society is suffering from a Stockholm syndrome. We're slaves and we don't even know it. It's unbelievable. We make excuses. It's like the prettier the celebrity, the more she can get away with, or the more popular the male actor is, the more he can get away with. The stuff that comes out of their mouth and people eat it up, and they get and they get recruited for these campaigns. And this is what McCarthy was going against because he saw the influence that Hollywood was having on our society. And that's where the communists went. They went for Hollywood and they infiltrated Hollywood. You know, all the damn, God, I can say this, I'm Jewish. All the damn Jews and everything else infiltrated Hollywood. God, Jews tend to screw up everything, and it's hard for me to say that. I'm Jewish. It's hard for me to say that. I mean, holy cow. I mean, every time in the Bible when the Jews screwed up, they got spanked, and then they would straighten out, and then they'd screw up again, and they'd get spanked. It's like, come on, get it right. It's like King Solomon had everything, the wisest king of all times. And the stupid idiot was warned, don't marry women from foreign lands because they'll make you, they'll make you worship their gods. And what does he do? 300, 400, 500 concubines and started putting up Asherah poles for them, the ones that wanted to worship Baal. And down goes his whole, everything, his kingdom. Well, I don't know if the Jews can replace me. I am Jewish. Yeah, Lucille Ball. Yep, card-carrying communist. And oh my God, did she treat her help and her servants in her mansion like crap. Look, we have card-carrying communists serving in our Congress. Socialists serving in our Congress. McCarthy is rolling over in his grave. Adam, look, look, you got a major pedophilia ring going on in the United States. Okay? Major. And it's run by, I mean, everyone they catch is Jewish. So it makes you wonder. It's like, damn, stop making us look bad. And it's the same way the cops feel about the bad cops. Stop making us look bad. It's a, no, Roy, it's a free one-way helicopter ride. No return trips. One-way free helicopter ride. Shh, Pastor, that's a secret. You didn't say anything about a return ride, yeah. I'm not only Jewish, I'm also black, and you're kin to the black Israelites. Yeah, well, I hate to tell everybody, Jesus wasn't white. I say this over and over again. After reading the Bible and then going back and seeing movies like Jesus of Nazareth and the greatest story ever told, they'd be like, why is they make them so white? At the time, they were very, very dark. And it says in the Bible, Jesus had skin of bronze. Do you understand how dark that is? Bronze. His complexion was bronze. Jump by Van Halen. Actually, if you talk to Eddie Van Halen about that, it was written while they were in a hotel room and there was a jumper across the street. And everybody down on the ground was yelling to the jumper to jump off the roof. That's what he said he wrote that song about. Or at least that's what he told me. I met him years ago. Well, that's because he's an anti-Semite now and he hates Jews. Everything is about Jews now. But back in the late 80s, when I met him, and he also said that in an interview. He said that in an interview. I don't know if you could find the interview on YouTube, but it was years ago. He talked about that. people that say that they're Jews, there's 12 tribes, guys. 12 tribes. I would say that 90% of the people that say they're Jews are Hebrew. They're not Jews. There's 12 tribes. Judah, Jews. That's one tribe. Not everybody's from the tribe of Judah. Homebrew. Look, guys, my lineage is Sephardic Jew and Italian, French, and English, and German, because my grandfather was German Jew. My grandmother was full-blooded Sephardic Jew. My mother's full-blooded Italian. But that's my lineage. I'm American. I'm born in this country. I'm American. Hey, Scooter. Well, if a Jew follows Levitical law, then he's going to refrain from eating pork. He's going to refrain from eating fish that have no scales, like catfish. Going to refrain from eating. There's even certain birds they can't eat. They can't eat rabbit. Okay, they can't eat any kind of shellfish, crustacean, shrimp, lobster, crabs, nothing like that. Eel, things like that, they can't eat. Now, if you get into rabbinical kosher, then we're talking about the ones that don't mix dairy with meat, stuff like that. And I guess, thank God I'm a Christian. So because I'm a Christian with Jewish blood, I'm considered a Messianic Jew. Messianic means I believe in Jesus. Yeah, well, if Texas stole the Lone Star from California, I got this to say to California, and we kind of say this about a lot of things. You want it? Come and get it. Come and take it. Guys, no fighting in here. We discuss things. John, ask all the questions. Ask all the questions you want, John. Just be respectful in here, and we'll have a great conversation. This is what Friday night is. Hey, Boulder. The stars at night are big and bright, deep in the heart of Texas. Boulder knows. Yeah, man. Just if you have a question, say it. If you have an opinion, say it. Man, that's what Friday nights are. That's what Friday nights are. You were saying it at the same time, Boulder. I figured as much. I don't know, man. They actually asked us, Stephen. They asked Texas to be part of the union. Texas didn't want to. Yeah, Dimebag was shot here. Yep. Yep. Yeah, my brother-in-law was actually good friends with him. Went to school with him. But oh, Texas GT. Behave. Guys, don't if you have a opinion, state it. Okay? Do I drink beer? Occasionally, Pastor. I don't do a lot of drinking. I like wine. I do drink beer when I go, when I hang out with my friends up at the cabin or I'm playing cards or something like that. I'll drink beer. I love a lot of the Texas beer, especially Shiner Bock. Love it. I don't buy beer and keep it at home. I don't do that. I guess I'm what you would call a social drinker. I don't drink by myself. I'm a social drinker. I like to have a drink in my hand if I'm having a conversation, much like I like my cigars. You know, my one cigar a week I give myself. I come out here and I do this. You know, um, Like I said, I keep my humidor packed. Kind of have to start. I'm gonna have to do another. I have to go to the auction and get some more because I'm starting to run low on my humidor. But why are you trying to look? I look. I've been smoking cigars a long time, a long time. And like I said, I try to minimize how much because I don't I don't inhale or anything like that. But I love my cigars, especially a good one. And like I said, I one a week. That's what I come out here for on Fridays. Statistically speaking, bye bye foreskin. Yeah, as long as you don't inhale, DV, um, they actually keep things kind of level as far as blood pressure and stuff like that. Because look, the number one killer in men is stress. There's my stress relief right there. That's why my blood pressure is so good. 52 years old, my blood pressure is 112 over 72. And I think that's pretty good. It fluctuates from 112 to 117. Yeah, I don't inhale cigars. I'll roll the smoke around in my nose a little bit because I'll get a flavor. I'm sure you inhale a little bit of the smoke just accidentally, but I don't like breathe it in. I do enjoy my good health. I don't eat sugar or anything like that. That's why I tend to stay away from a lot of liquor. There's a lot of sugar in it. Yeah, let me tell you something, Boulder. Getting your ex out of the house for how crazy she was, that'll lower your blood pressure. That's why I'm in my garage, guys. I don't smoke cigar in the house. Yeah, the range for the wind, that's another stress relief. That's why that I can't really blow up any tannerite or anything like that at the farm because there's too many cows. But my friend has a cabin up north we go to when we want to blow up tannerite. So that's a big stress relief. Yeah, I'm very fortunate, Texas GT, to be born in America because there are some real crappy places out there that I'm glad I don't live. Oh, yeah. Let me tell you something. Boulder, I've known Boulder for just about 2 years now. He's not the same Boulder he was 2 years ago. Not at all. Not even close. I mean, he's been doing nothing but every day improving his life, making it better and better and better. I got so much respect for that guy. I'm so glad I'm so fortunate I got to know Boulder. I got to talk with him as much as I do. Yeah. Boulder, yeah, absolutely. We hit the lottery. What is my understanding of law enforcement and the Americans with Disability Act? Um, you're putting the two together, and I'm trying to figure out the correlation between the two. Oh, come on, guys. Really? Acid? Yeah, there you go, John. Good. John's asking questions, guys. He's voicing his opinion. So it may be his opinion may be different from ours. You can say, "Hey, man, I don't agree with your opinion. I think it's ridiculous." That's fine because that's your opinion. But God, come on, really, guys? You're better than this. My Friday night streams are better than this, okay? Look, guys, I have 3 rules. You know the rules. 3 rules, okay? And the first rule is no doxing anyone. Second rule is no threats of violence, okay? And we've already had that in here. And I'm being very lenient. And my third rule is no talking about someone's wife or their family. Those are the rules. Steely Dan rocks. Look, there's a lot of musicians that I don't even want to know their political stance because it's ridiculous. But they're great music. Great music. Steely Dan is one of them. Oh, gosh. You know, there was a time when I used to do the same thing. I'd be like, oh, yeah. And you know, when someone tells me that they're going to kick my ass, which happens quite a bit, I just tell them, come down to Texas and we can handle that because we have this great law in Texas called consent for mutual combat, which means you sign a waiver, you consent to fighting, and you can fight legally, and you're not liable. That's another thing I love about Texas. But if someone's just voicing their opinion, why? Yo, I don't know which states do. Texas is one of them. Oregon, yeah, that's right, Boulder. We talked about this, and I forgot the ones that you named. Boulder knows them. Look, there's a lot of things that law enforcement doesn't enforce anymore. Like, I know a lot of law enforcement officers that won't bust a guy for smoking marijuana in his house, even though it's illegal here. You're not hurting anybody else with it. You're not selling it. They're not going to bust you for it. I know a lot of law enforcement that won't do that. So, yeah, there are laws that law enforcement won't enforce. You would think, mister, that that kind of contract would be valid in every state. But a lot of karate schools got sued because it's not. Pastor, I told you, man, January, right? You want me to come out to California in January? I'll come out to California in January. We talked about this. Wow, this cigar is actually going a little faster tonight, but then again, we've already been on 48 minutes. Wow. Well, I used to eat kosher, John. I used to eat kosher for a long time. And I stopped after I read Galatians. I'm like, what am I doing? I train Leos, okay, and I have in the past in physical hand-to-hand combat. That's it. I didn't train Leos on the law. I didn't train Leos in how to, you know, the ability to enforce the law or anything like that. What I do train Leos on, and I believe this wholeheartedly, that the better they're equipped for physical combat, the less likely they are to resort to drawing their gun. The more confident a law enforcement officer is in physical combat means that they are in this, it's been proven over and over again, means that they are less likely to enter into a life and death situation as quickly as someone that is not trained. And I've done this in classes with them, and I've said, look, you know, you draw your weapon when you feel physically in danger of losing your life. You draw your weapon. And they start their class, and you see how quickly they draw their weapon. At the end of about a year's training, we do the same thing again. And you would believe how much longer they can handle that without drawing their weapon. They're much more confident in de-escalation, which I'm considered an expert in, guys. And I didn't even know I was considered an expert in it until I just got told this recently by 3 police forces that they consider me an expert in de-escalation. Well, I've been studying de-escalation for almost 40 years. So, and I never knew I was considered an expert until just recently. They told me, yes, Steve, you're an expert. Absolutely. Oh, no one's going to get banned. Jeez, some crow. If they're stating their opinion, that's fine. If they think their opinion is fact, that's fine. Back it up. I have no problem with that. Why are we deleting stuff? John, why would you delete that comment, Boulder? That was a funny comment about the popcorn. Holy cow! Come on, Boulder, that was funny. I saw it, John. I read the comment. Well, someone who deleted the comment then? I saw it was deleted. Who deleted it? Michigan Mister. Okay, don't do that. Come on, man. That was funny. Come on. Let me tell you something. Who out of this group likes making fun of Jews more than me? I like making fun of Jews. I love a good Jewish joke. No, truth be told, I never heard about the corn, and I've known rabbis, and like I said, I ate I was borderline rabbinical kosher. I ate for years. I did not mix cheese with meats or dairy with meats at all. Yeah, I was oh god, I was borderline. Yeah, no kidding. God, if you have a good Jewish joke, tell me. Jeez, please. I got some great Jewish jokes. I told my favorite one. I don't know, Steve. I think it was Steve Missouri that said one the other day, or Tunis. I can't remember if it was Tunis that said, "If you want to keep a Jew occupied, glue a quarter to the floor." That's friggin' funny. Oh my god, that's funny. That made me laugh. I just about died laughing when I heard that one. And then I like the one about the tires, the automobile tires, the Jewish radial. That's my favorite one. The Jews have invented a Jewish radial tire, and it's so good it stops on a dime and picks it up. I make myself laugh with these. Come on, guys. I know a lot of good Jewish jokes. I love them. Please, please tell them. Like the funniest one. Oh, I believe it does, Boulder. I believe it does. Jesus wasn't afraid of drinking either. He made wine. His first miracle was creating liquor. Okay? That was his first miracle. He gave liquor to a bunch of people that were already drunk. Hey, Brian. Welcome aboard, man. You got in here late, but you're here. That's cool. Yeah. God. Hey, we kind of went bad there for a second. Oh, I think it was the marijuana talk. No, I mean, I don't smoke it, but I don't have a problem with people that do. Just don't smoke it around my kids. That's all. Yeah, we just lost the stream for a second there, so yeah, I thought it was maybe the battery, but it's not. So we're still good. We're going on an hour. Like where I am right now, I'm kind of on the extent of what of from the Wi-Fi, how far I can get away from it. Hey, Sawson, shalom, Michigan Mister. I'm not going to pull your wrench, man. I kind of like I said. I don't mind innuendos. All your Jewish jokes are kosher. That's awesome. Bring them out. I want to hear them. Oh my God, John, that's funny. Hey, GD, haven't seen you in a while. Not since I left that Discord. Thanks for posting the porn. That's why I left. Look, guys, that's why I left that Discord. And I'm not telling anybody they can't post porn in their Discord. I just and anybody that knows me, I left a hangout because someone posted porn. I just won't be around it. It's not that I'm a prude or anything. I just know me. I'm a guy. I'm a married guy. Okay? I'm not I just don't want to be around it. That's why I left the Discord. Take to unscrew a light bulb. None. That's the joke. Oh my God, Texas, really? Thanks, John. You know, it's funny. I love biblical jokes. I remember one I did with my dad, and the joke was it's a knock knock joke, and I had about a half an inch of water in a little glass and we're telling jokes around the table, and I remember looking at my dad and I said knock knock, and my dad goes, "Who's there?" And I said John, and he goes, "John who?" And he thought you know, I'm using a family name. He thought I was going to tell a joke about that. So I grabbed the water and I went like this. And I just splashed it in his face. And I said, John the Baptist. So if you ever have a little bit of water in a glass, do it outside, though. I got in trouble for doing it in the house. Do it outside. Knock, knock. They go, who's there? Say, John. John who? Splash him in the face with the water. Go, John the Baptist. Texas GT, how do you get him out of the tree? You cut the tree down. So, I got hit by a parked car. Oh my God, you're killing me, guys. Oh my God, that's funny. That's funny. Oh my God, Roy. I've never heard that one before. Oh my God, that's funny. I'm going to tell that one. I'm going to tell that one. Oh my God. Oh my God, that's funny. I will remember that one. I will remember that one, guys. That's funny. I think the funniest thing was I forget who it was, whether it was Boulder or Robert or someone. I was doing I don't know if I was cooking something in the kitchen. No, I was butchering the deer in the kitchen. And I remember someone saying, "Steve, I'm surprised you go in the kitchen." And I'm like, "What are you talking about? Of course I'm in the kitchen." I had the big side of the deer up on the counter and I'm butchering it. And he goes, "I'm surprised you go in the kitchen." I'm like, "Why?" And he goes, "I'm surprised you get that close to an oven." I just about died laughing. I was laughing so hard, I almost had to stop the stream. Yeah, I know, Texas. You have to understand, this is Friday night stream. This is how it is. Sometimes we stay on one subject for the whole night. Sometimes we don't. Sometimes we just jump around. That's Friday night. It's whatever. It's kind of like Tuesday. I like leaving Tuesdays when I'm in the studio. I like leaving that open. It kind of goes wherever anybody wants to talk about. So what are you talking about, Johnny? Johnny Gooch, I think. So I feel like this is the last thing a mob guy sees before getting whacked. What's that? Yeah, free association storming. Yeah, roll up her. Oh my God, Roy! No, you didn't go there, Roy. Oh my God, that. Oh my God, that's. Oh my God. See, Roy knows me. Roy knows me all too well. Oh my God, that's freaking. Oh my God, that's that's like one of those jokes that you're like, I shouldn't laugh at that, but it's funny. I shouldn't laugh at that, but it's funny. Come on, it's like the joke about how many Jews can you fit in a Volkswagen or Volkswagen Bug? Okay, we'll just say Volkswagen Bug. How many Jews can you fit in a Volkswagen Bug? Well, you can fit four, and then 6 million in the ashtray. Yeah, Gooch. Yeah, you might have a point there. You might have a point. And I'm half Italian, so you might have a point. Yeah. Nah, no. I de-escalated that, guys, when the cops showed up here that time. Well, that was over faster than it began. Come on, a lot of you guys were here, and I had those cops laughing in about 3 or 4 minutes. No, that was over before it began. That's another thing, guys. I got all the body cam footage of that. So I'm thinking about actually putting. Oh, yeah, they had their guns drawn. Yeah, of course. They were approaching a guy with a holster on his side. Of course, they had their guns drawn. Of course, they did. Why do you think I was communicating with them? My hands were out to the side, communicating with them. Guys, I'll give you a little lesson on de escalation. They had guns drawn. Absolutely. They had AR-15 shotguns and pistols. Yeah. Okay. I took all the bass, the resonance out of my voice because I have a very authoritative voice. So I took all the bass out of my voice. I talked very monotone to them. I looked them in the eye. I kept my hands where they could see them. I kept on asking them questions. Well, you're a real douche. Bobby McNutt. Bye bye. You're gone. So that's basically what I did to de-escalate the situation. I've talked to all the cops multiple times after that. Tarrant County was here also. Talked with them. Well, you have to. You have to de-escalate the situation. And you're not going to do that by being a horse's ass. I mean, within a few seconds, I realized I had been swatted. You like I said, go back and watch it. I have all the footage. I have all the audio, all the radio traffic and stuff like that. And I was actually thinking on putting a timeline together that showed everything. Been thinking about that. I don't know. Oh, what are you talking about? Oh, thank you. Someone got him before I did. Thank you, DV. Nah, it wasn't a joke. No. Okay. That's fine. Just tell me when. Uh, Pastor, just tell me when. I guess Bobby scrotum cut is a little butt hurt. Jewish divorce customs. That's usually what they do when they get married. I've been to a few Jewish weddings. I was actually a cantor at a Jewish wedding. A cantor is the guy that sings, basically, in Hebrew. It would have taken an act of God. Okay. Yeah, you wanted your paychecks. Yeah, I don't know if I could. I don't know if I could marry a Jewish woman. I don't. I just don't think I could. No, my first wife wanted my checks. So that didn't work out. Sawson, thank you so much for your support. By the way, speaking of big support, Greta hasn't been able to be here because she has been traveling, dealing with some legal matters. So she hasn't been here lately. She sends me emails, so she stops in when she can. Right now, she's back home. So I'm glad all that is getting resolved. Greta is awesome. She's such a great person. Like I said, she is one of the few people that's not in my Hangout, Discord, and all that has my phone number. There's a few people that have my regular phone number. Yeah. Boulder has my regular phone number. Roy has my regular phone number. Oh my God, Roy. Oh my God, Roy. Roy, you're killing me now. See, not only are you attacking my Jewishness, but you're attacking my blackness. Okay, Pastor Jack, do you see this? See, see this what goes. This is what happens when you're black, Pastor. I'm right there with you, man. Yeah, we need to stick. Us blacks need to stick together, Pastor. Oh, that would be cool, Pastor. 8 p.m. That was an hour before I went on. Well, it depends on what your 8 p.m. is, if it's Eastern, Central, or Mountain. You told her if she wanted to get married, she was paying for it. Oh, thank you, Ken. Thank you so much for that, for your support, and mostly Ken for your friendship. We need to go back to the range sometime, man. We haven't been to the range together in a while, dude. I'm getting withdrawal symptoms hanging out with you. We definitely need to go to the range. Yeah, you're gonna have to take the Saint out. I like the Saint. I got a new toy. You're gonna have to try out too. Hey, Bridget. No, you didn't miss me. Phew. Ah, I don't know what's out here making me sneeze. That's the second one tonight. Oh, 9 millimeter. I like 9 millimeter subs. We both have them now. Hey, can your 9 millimeter sub take plus P plus ammo? Hope. Can your 9 millimeter sub take plus P plus? Thank you, Hope. Because I learned that my 9 millimeter sub can take plus P plus. The cool thing. Oh, Bridget, you need a cigar and a drink? Yeah. Allegedly, it can. Now, the cool thing about the subs now, what you're going to find out with the 9 millimeter sub is because it has a longer barrel, there's a lot more back pressure, okay, which allows more muzzle velocity. Oh, 50 Beowulf, that's awesome, Ken. But the 9 millimeter sub has a longer barrel. It basically adds a lot more muzzle velocity to the round. Now, what's really cool, of course, plus P plus 9 millimeters hits with the same ballistics as a 357 Magnum. So then you add that to a sub, something with a longer barrel. We're talking, anywhere from, you know, 18 inches, I think, is before it becomes a pistol. 18 inches. Anything less than that, it's kind of a pistol. Pastor, in this darkness, I'm really black. Yeah, see, Bridget knows what you're talking about. You're speaking Bridget's language. Magpul left Colorado. Man, Magpul makes some great accessories too. It's funny. I'm not a fan of Glock at all, but I've shot some and I like them. I'm just not like a fan of actually having one. It's a lot of money. But my friend has a Glock 30. It's a compact 45 ACP, and it's a beautifully comfortable gun. Very, very comfortable to shoot. And all my friends that have gotten a 30, I'm going to tell you right now, guys, if you buy a Glock 30, don't let your wife shoot it. If you let your wife shoot your Glock 30, you will not get your Glock 30 back. So if you're going to buy one and you're going to let your wife shoot it, buy two. Just saying. It's the truth. Because yeah, they are nice. I just have this thing for a modern weapon like that. I mean, it's just personal. It's a joke actually, because my friend's all Glock man. He has tons of Glocks. So I made the mistake. I was at a gun store and I said, "Hey, let me see that Glock 30." So I pulled the Glock 30 out and I showed my wife, and my wife held the Glock 30 and she's like, "Oh, I want one. I want one now." And I'm like, "Oh, I guess I gotta get her one." And my wife, she has a 1911. That's what she has. Side hat kick. Yeah, women love Glocks. Yeah, my wife loves her 1911. See, I have the government, the GI one, full size, and she has the Commander. It's the same thing, same size magazine, same grip, same everything, except for it's shorter on the barrel, just a little shorter. I want to shoot the Keltec. I don't think I shot that last time. Your shotgun, I haven't shot it yet. And you still haven't shot my shotgun either. Yeah, that's it. You could pair up with the 1911s. Yep. I didn't shoot your Keltec. I really want to shoot that. You haven't shot my Model 11 either. God knows I got enough ammo for it right now after the dove hunt. Because anytime you go dove hunting, at the beginning of the season, you buy 2 cases. See, a lot of people go to 40s because 40s have a lot of takedown. The guys that don't like the 9s, I used to carry a 9. Just, and You got to put plus P pluses in it if you want something with a lot of takedown. 40s are a good gun. I had a Taurus 40. It was one of the Millenniums. It was okay. Millennium had a lot of problems, so I got rid of it. They had a lot of recalls on them a while back, and I haven't gotten back into it. Although I have looked at a couple of other Tauruses. I think the next firearm I get is going to be a 303 Enfield. I was actually looking at one the other day, and it wasn't the full barrel. It was the carbine version. The carbine it was a little shorter. I say carbine. Anything with a shorter barrel, we call it that. What do you mean? How's my toes? How's your toes? Who are you talking to, Bridget? Yes, I did. I had a good time with that 40. Oh, uncontrollable broke his toes. Okay, okay, okay. That stinks. I hate breaking toes. Man, if you break something, normally a karate guy, that's what they break. They break their toes until they busted them up enough to where they don't break anymore. Yeah, you better bring the Creed more. I've been wanting to shoot that 6.5 since you talked about it. Everybody's getting one now. Even Corbin bought a 6.5. I want to get one so bad. It's just because of the distance. Everybody says I should replace my 308 with the 6.5. I love my 308 so much. It's a great round. Damn thing is so consistent, even past 1,500 yards. It's consistent. Oh, 24-inch Creedmoor. My friend has a 24-inch barrel on his AR. He's got an AR platform with 224 Valkyrie. That's another round. 224 Valkyrie, after 1,000 yards, is still supersonic. It's extremely fast round. Leaves the barrel shortly after it hits over 4,000 feet per second. It's just a screaming bullet. Very, very consistent. Very flat shooter. It doesn't have a large trajectory. It only drops an inch, I think, at 300 yards. Oh, the Creedmoor's a tack driver. Absolute tack driver. Yeah, man. So you said you hit the dock. Is that what you're saying? You broke your toes on the dock? Are we talking like dock boats? That kind of thing? I'm trying to read the text here. It's moving by pretty quick. Ken, we need to bring that out to the farm. Can't do it now because we're heading into hunting season. But as soon as hunting season's over, you got to come with me to the farm. Oh, I've been to the Grand Prairie one. You talking about the indoor range? Was it Shoot Smart or something like that? Oh, whoo, yellowfin. Oh God, my days of owning a boat. Of course, that goes back to Rhode Island. Um, and I was working my way through college. I did 2 years of commercial diving, and it wasn't like this big mechanical kind of underwater welding commercial diving. No, no. I was a boat salvage, and when we didn't have boat salvage to do, what I mean by salvage is we scrape boats, and we also pulled small ones up from the bottom in the bay. But when we didn't have that to do, we did oysters and shells and clams. We call them call hogs up north. And so that's how I worked my way through college. And we had two boats. We had a 30-footer with a 454 inboard. It had a small cab up front, could sleep like three people, two comfortably. And then we had a 18-foot tri hull with a 200 Merc on the back of it. That was our backup boat. Yeah, you get out to western Texas, Bridget. There's a lot of people that own tanks out there. If that's what you're referring to, yeah. Oh, it's the Cadillac of boats. I know the one you're talking about. If it's the one I'm thinking of, it's a Cadillac, all right. I thought the 36-footer we had was big. 36. It was nice too. It had an 11-foot plane on the back of it. It was pretty wide, good dive boat. We had the 454 inboard, which left the back of it pretty open. It was easy to get in and out of in the water. It was pretty good too with the 454, and we had a power prop because we towed boats with it. We could tow a boat the same size. We could tow a boat probably 40, 45 knots. We could move pretty quick with it. If we put a speed prop on it, we could probably get a little better, but it was a power prop, you know. I don't know the angles of it, but it was pretty good. Made a lot of money. I think if I lived up north, I would go back to diving. Just made a lot of money at it. It was dangerous though, very dangerous. Every year we were searching for some diver that they lost in the bay up north. Because when you dive every day, you get very complacent. And for 2 years, I spent 4 hours a day underwater, and probably, 5 days a week. If we had a lot of work, we did six, not too often. But yeah, I spent that much time underwater. We didn't go very deep. On average, we spent most of our time at 20 feet. Sometimes we went deeper. I've been as deep as 100 and 160 feet. And that was really borderline for what we could do without changing the mixture in our tanks. Truth be told, we really should have changed the nitrogen mixture for going that deep. And I was only down there for a short time, but I spent a lot of time around 100 feet, little over. You could do that on two tanks. You start getting past 160 feet, you got to start breathing a heliox mix, or else your blood vessels will get crushed by the pressure. The pressure your body feels at over 100 feet is pretty insane. 33 meters. Yep, that's it. That's, like I said, that's a good dive. You really have to deal. You're dealing with atmospheres. You got 33 feet for every atmosphere, and your pressure doubles every atmosphere. So your biggest pressure change, of course, is in your first atmosphere, the first 33 feet. That's if you're going to get the bends. That's where it's going to happen mostly, because you have the greatest pressure change. But you start getting down to your third atmosphere, you feel the pressure on your body. That up north, we had to wear really thick suits, half-inch thick neoprene suits, and they would, after 100 feet, they'd be paper thin. And I'll tell you something that I remember, because it's been years since I dove, at least to any depth. You know, it's you feel your internal organs working after 100 feet. What I mean by that, you can feel your lungs rubbing around in your chest every time you breathe. You can feel your heartbeat because the pressure on your body is so great. Everything that moves inside your body, you feel. And back then, we didn't have the gauges that could regulate, or not regulate, but tell you exactly what your dive letter was when you came up, for your residual nitrogen and things like that. We had to do all the math by hand every dive to make sure we weren't going over uh, certain levels to keep us from getting the bends. Because I mean, you dive 4 dives a day, as long as you're not going past your first atmosphere, you're not worried about it too much. I've had a bump stock. If we're getting back on firearms, I've had a bump stock. I don't like them. They're useless. They kind of suck. Truth be told, they do kind of suck. And to be able to use one and make it effective, they're not. They speed up. I wouldn't say they speed up, but it's just really hard to regulate. You really have to watch your pressure that you have on your shoulder. You have to stay consistent with it, or else it won't work. Yeah, it's a novelty. I still don't believe the guy in Las Vegas used a bump stock. There's no way an untrained guy could use a bump stock that effectively. And you also heard the bullets get very fast. They would start off slow and then speed up, you know? And that sounds like a belt fed to me. Yeah, I don't like any fully automatic. It's kind of stupid. Even and that was one of the reasons why um I never got my class 3 license, because at one time I was going to go for it and try to get my class 3 license. But the amount of ammo you go through and you're just spraying. It's just there's no personally I just and I really wanted to get it for hog hunting, truth be told, because when we go out and we know we're going to get into a pile of hogs, we tend to, you know, 230 round magazines taped, because if you get into a pile of them, you need a lot of ammo. And I've been in the bed of a truck surrounded by hogs, just, shooting and shooting. Ran out of ammo. Yeah, it was crazy. We dropped so many of them. We filled up the back of the truck. We dropped so many of them, we ran out of ammo. Yeah, the last place I want to be hunting hogs is on the ground, especially if they charge you. Because if you don't drop them, you're going to be in a tree. And in Texas, mesquite thorns are not fun. Mesquite thorns are not fun, but you will climb up a mesquite tree. If a hog is chasing you, we will get cut from head to toe by the mesquite thorns. And because there's a toxin in the mesquite thorns, you will blow up like a balloon. Mesquite thorns, man, they will wreck up a tire on your vehicle too. Okay, I just got the notice that I'm down to 15% on my battery, guys. We are on an hour and a half. I knew I would get an hour out of this, so I'm almost done. So as soon as I'm done with this, we'll call this quits. And if any of the mods want to talk, I'll get on Discord after and talk for a little bit. Yeah, I'm more into precision shooting, and my semis are all precision guns. Yeah, I don't like full auto. You're not hitting anything really. Yeah, well, God, they have torn up our ranch so bad. We had we had this pack of sows, 4 or 5 of them that were just popping out litters left and right. So we had this main hog that was about 300 pounds that was just hitting all the sows. So I took that hog out last year, and it seems to have slowed it down. We'll see what happens. I'll check my feeders again in a couple of weeks, and we'll see what comes in. If I get a bunch of hogs back there again, well, we'll have to take care of them. All that means is hog meat in the freezer. I won't. I tend not to. The most I'll do with a boar is I will cut the back straps out of it and take the cutters. That's about it. They're smelly, stinky, and we just yeah. Well, sow. I would rather have a good sow than venison. I love venison. Don't get me wrong, I get a sow that's 200 pounds right around there. Oh, that's going in the freezer, guys. I'm a bad Jew. I told you. Well, Scooter, we'll see about that. I mean, I don't invite a lot of people to the hunt unless I know them really well. Well, yeah, the boars. I mean, like I said, the most I'll do with the boars take the back straps unless they're really clean. But they musk that meat up so bad after you shoot them. You got to immediately get to them and cut the balls off of them. Immediately, as soon as you hit a boar, if you can get to them, cut the balls off of them, and you might be okay as long as it's cold out. But they will musk that thing up nasty. Ken, I'm telling you, if you want to come up in January or February, that's when I get after a lot of the hogs and the coyotes and stuff like that. If you want to do that, come with me to the farm in January, February. We'll do it. I would love to see what a 458 SOCOM does to a hog. Oh, God. I've seen what a 50 BMG does to a hog. I saw this guy, if he had video I was at Cheaper Than Dirt, because we used, well, I don't know, that hub isn't here anymore, but there's a couple of them. I was talking with a guy that did a 50 cal on a hog, 350-pound hog. Hit it while it was coming at him at about 300 yards away, hit it in the front shoulder, and it took the shoulder all the way back to the rear thigh completely off. Just wiped it out. Ken, yeah, we'll definitely we'll have to do it, and like I said, January, February. I will make plans for that. Okay, Sawson, thank you so much. Shabbat shalom to you. Have a very blessed weekend. No, not much left after a BMG. I'm sorry, at 243. If you hit them right, you'll drop them like a box of rocks. I mean, I've dropped hogs with a 223 with one shot. You just got to hit them right. I've seen people hit them with other stuff and they just keep going. We shot one big boar. He was huge. Shot him multiple times. You know what dropped him? 45 long colt. Cane pole. No, I won't. I've eaten javelina. I'm not crazy about it. 30-30 is good for a hog. Anything out to 100 yards, it's going down. But I know this year, uh, my friend has challenged me to get into a tripod stand and get out of my regular covered stand. There's one trail I think I'm going to put a tripod stand on, and the only reason I'm doing that is the bucks are staying deep in the woods. And I said, "What the hell am I going to do surrounded by trees? It's not like I'm going to use, my heavy rifle." And so he told me, "Hey, use your 45 long up close." And I'm like, "Really?" He goes, "Yeah, we'll just get some buffalo bore ammo for it. 300 grain, it'll drop it. Bad. It'll drop it like a box of rocks." So, hey, Bridget, good night. Take care and God bless you. Have yourself a good weekend if I don't talk to you again before. Texas GT. Here's my issue with bow hunting. Okay, and I'll tell you the problem I have with bow hunting deer is I'm a very humane hunter. I do not like having to track a deer. and I've only seen a couple of people bow hunt to where they've been able to drop a deer quickly. I mean, like within a few steps. Every deer I've taken on my farm has basically died on their feet, and what I mean by that is they're dead before they hit the ground. I know you said you bow hunt, and every deer I've shot with my 308 has died on its feet. It's hit the ground, laid on top of its legs. It didn't lay to the side or take steps. It literally just dropped straight down on its legs. And I like that. To me, that's humane. I have a problem with, uh, and this is just me. I don't, and I've shot bow for a long time. I just don't like hunting with one. I don't. I love shooting target with my bow, and a lot of people, the argument with bow is always, for the tips, mechanical or fixed. And it may be because I've never liked mechanical tips. I've always gone with fixed, but mechanical does more damage. They bleed out much faster. At least that's the argument, you know. I mean, maybe I don't know. Call me a pussy. I just don't like the animal suffering. I like it to die quickly. Well, if you're bow hunting, you can't bring a sidearm because during bow hunting season, you can't finish it off with a sidearm. In the county where the farm is, you can't really hunt turkey in that county. I've never seen a turkey in that county, truth be told. Most of the turkeys I see are right around here, and you go up north and they're just loaded with them. Yeah, I can carry my sidearm with me, but you can't do it when you're bow hunting in Texas, which is crazy. Hey, Inday, MJ. Guys, I don't know how much more battery I have left. As soon as I see a sign for 10%, I'm gonna shut it down, guys, because we're on an hour and 37 minutes, and I'm about done with this. Oh, reservation land. Okay, Hope. What's the difference with the regulations on the reservation? Please tell me. Uncontrollable. That's the thing. And this is why when I shoot with a firearm, I do not. I don't do a heart shot because I've seen a deer, the heart get blown to pieces, and it still run. And the term we use here is it'll run until its oil pressure drops. When its oil pressure drops, which means its blood flow drops, it goes down. And when adrenaline hits a deer, that not as harsh as a hog does. If you don't drop the hog immediately, it hits the adrenaline gland and it just takes off running. It don't matter how. There could be meat and guts. It could be dragging behind it. It doesn't matter. It's still going to run. It's going to run at you, or it's going to run off. Okay. Up north when I hunted, we always had check-in stations for any of the state lands and stuff like that we had to check in. I understand that. They want to know who's out there. This way, if someone gets hurt out in the field, you check in. If you don't check out, they know they got someone out in the stands or out in the fields or something, and they haven't checked in. And that's for your safety. They know where you are, so they can come looking for you. That's just it. Uncontrollable. When I shoot with the 308, I shoot at the base of the neck. Base of the neck just before it goes into the shoulders. I don't want to destroy backstrap. But when I shoot it at the base of the neck, even if I come close to the spine, the concussion of it going through the neck just it drops it so fast. It turns it off like a light switch. Well, wildlife management is important, guys. Very, very important. Wildlife management is what keeps the wildlife going. Okay, guys, I am pretty much done with this. So, and that is it for the Friday night cigar stream. Yep, I'm done, guys. Man, guys, thank you so much for coming out for this Friday stream. I love my Friday streams. It's an absolute blast. Absolute blast. I enjoy it. Yeah, hope we've had a couple of mountain lions come onto the farm that we had to take care of. Yeah, you guys take care. And man, I'm telling you, like I said, come into the. You guys know I'm going to do them on Friday nights. Next Friday, I'm supposed to go to the farm. I'm still going to do a Friday night stream because I'm going to go on Saturday. I'll leave in the morning because I have to go and check on stuff. I have to plant my grazing plots and things like that. And like guys, I'll stop on our Discord a little bit for the ones that are on my Discord. I don't have many on there, but I'll stop on there for a few minutes. So you guys take care. God bless. Hope everybody has a great weekend. Be safe, but have fun.